Okay, hello. My name is Pia Ramirez Mård. I'm from the north of Sweden, from Luleå, and I'm representing here today the Resource Center of Norrbotten and also Winnet Sweden because I'm sitting in the board. In our group, we were very busy talking and not so very busy writing, so we just have one sentence, I think, on this paper. So please, could you help me? I'm very glad to hear the former speaker because it was like your whole speech was addressed to the RC organization. So very, very much thank you. And we were talking very much just how Winnet Sweden and RC organization could be that driving force to make women more participating in the ICT. And this is a very broad issue, and we didn't in the beginning know how to grab it. But we put it in this level, that we think after this Jämställd IT project, I think these dialogue seminars must continue. It's very important, and on a very high level, we think. We have to gather national and regional actors and stakeholders, and we have to pick them, personal invitation, and we have to pick the persons that are interested in the issue and wants to participate. Oops. And all these dialogue seminars, we think we had to start in our regions in Sweden, perhaps in the county boards or in the 8 structure areas. I don't know where to start, but we have to start in a regional, it doesn't matter. In a regional level, and we think that Winnet Sweden, together with all the local and regional organizations, have to collaborate together and be this coordinator. And we are the inviters. We are not waiting to be invited. We are the inviters. And we are going to gather these people, pick them, and from branch, the ICT branch, it could be stakeholders in the region, it could be educational organizations, it could, and we especially talked about the education organization that is educating teachers. We think they are a very important target group. And with researchers, of course, we have to have in these dialogue seminars. And this is the start for this national platform, we think. And it's very urgent, so we are not going to have a long period of this, because we have to start immediately. So this is our proposal. And Winnet Sweden is going to be that national coordinator and inviter for this. And then we talked about the next question, how to participate with all our experience and expertise. Because what we heard from before lunch, we had 3 good examples presented for us. And we have to have them as role models. And we also must continue with these interregional projects. And we are looking forward to this capitalization project, Winnet 8, and see what it's going to be, what's the result is from that. Because this is a project on a very high level, and we think it's necessary. So I think This is what we were talking about in 1.5 hours, round and round and round. But we think that's the most important. Okay, thank you.
Our group was almost only Swedes. We have only one from Finland in our group, and she understands Swedish. So we discussed in Swedish. And we wrote down also in Swedish. I perhaps when I have explained that, would have told you who I am. My name is Britta Berglund, and I'm also from north of Sweden, from Piteå, and I representative from Winnet, Sweden. We was talking about the platform. What is a platform? And we decided that it's not. We will not make a new platform. It's only that we will make clear what the organization and the network Winnet is doing today. And we will build on the foundation which already exists in the local and regional level. And we will show up some good examples. And as I said earlier, we will not create any new structures or platform. And it also, we will say to this audience that we will be observant when we write down the value of a new flagship, a new project. And that was the main contentions from our group.
Hello again. To the new people in the audience, I'm Sofia Händel from the municipality of Norrtälje. And we're here today because we participate in a gender and ICT project named Quadruple Helix. In our group, the first point of discussion, we gave our answer or our ideas, the headline education. And we really think it's important for Winnet Sweden and other actors to sort of promote, highlight, lobby for more women studying ICT and technology in order to also change the gender distribution also in the work sector later on. And we discussed for a while how it can be done and gave some practical examples from our own experience. But to summarize it, we can say that one way to do this is to focus on ICT sectors that do attract women, or where women can dominate this sort of area. Through, we had some experience from engineering programs that are media engineering or media technology, for instance, that have many women participate, or many women are studying, and also a real estate program with a lot of IT within it. So sort of just widen it a bit, not just promote that, okay, we are doing a lot of programming and stuff in this education. We are sort of widening it a bit more to attract more women. Yes, and also sort of to highlight good examples where women are very active when it comes to ICT. For a fact that I think that women are more active when it comes to social media, using it more and so on, to sort of build on that. And also it could be something for the RC organization to sort of help to promote ICT as a career path for women, to make it a real interesting option. Show the opportunities in the sort of labor market of ICT for. Yes. Would you like to add something in my group to what I've said? No, it's okay. Okay, then we turn the page. When you hear the beep, you turn the page. And for the second discussion point, we like to emphasize that it's important, especially if you want to have international network of partner. It's important to have long-term partners, find long-term partnerships in the region to be able to create a change. And it could be European resource centers, but also other actors such as universities and institutions. But it's important to sort of make the partnership stable, and then funding is an essential bit to sort of find maybe European money or funding for resource centers in order to make it live for a longer time. And what else? We also discussed sort of cross-border exchange in various ways and how you can use ICT, and we thought that maybe IT and e-learning and the communication through, like have online conferences where you can participate from all parts of Europe could be a part of such a flagship project or to continue. So use IT when it's facilitating life, so to say, or where it has a good function to sort of sneak it in. Yes, I think we can turn the page. And then before we had to finish our discussion, we were coming into a bit of this when it comes to entrepreneurship and IT. We thought that it might be a good idea to combine entrepreneurs that are not IT entrepreneurs. They are occupied in something totally different, but combine it with research and professionals in IT, so they work together. And when if you're some kind of service provider or something, maybe you get, with more knowledge in IT and what is possible, you might get totally new ideas for your own company, so you can expand it, and it might be really interesting new innovation through this. So not only having more women IT entrepreneurs, but also having more IT skills in the other industries, or for other entrepreneurs.
Ja, jag heter Margareta Lindbäck och jag kommer från Åttegårdens lokala sorry. Well, my name is Margareta Lindbäck and I'm coming from Jämtland and the local resource center Åttegården. And in our group, we were only people we talked Swedish, all of us, even if we had an international friend from Åbo in our group. So we wrote in Swedish, and this is the discussion we had, and it's about ideas, and we talk about education, about entrepreneurs, resource centers, how to involve all people in the whole society, how to should we work on the regional level or on the national, on the local level, and it felt like we discussed the whole society's responsibility in this. And then we tried to come back to the question. And the question is, how can Winnet Sweden and its organization with local and regional resource center for women collaborate with other actors, and how can this be organized? So we try to come back to that question, and then we can just look at the organization plan. Because this is a question, it's a very big question, and we thought a national platform, it must be other actors, of course, and we thought that the organization responsible for education should be one part, organization for entrepreneurs should be one part, the Datorföreningen, computer organization, should be one part, and then we have Winnet Sweden as one part. And what can Winnet Sweden do with their organization in this kind of work? And we find out that we are a great organization. We have 160 organizations in the Winnet Sweden, and we can use them. So because we want to do some changes, we need to. It's not that only on a national level and organizations things should change. Also with individuals, people. So how to make change with what? How should we do to make person make change? That's a big issue. And we found out that the local resource centers, they actually, you can find, they have connection down to the small villages, and they can, it's like a big net we can decide what Winnet Sweden should do in this question, and then we can help. We can use the small organization around the whole country, and what we should work with is possibly how to change attitudes about ICT, and the others will work with how to change the education, so women will work with them. So I think we discussed that it's important what kind of role should the different actors have in this platform, and how can we use our organizations in the rest of the country. Maybe someone wants to add what we discussed? No? And then we have the national level, and we have the regional and the local, and hopefully we also will have international partners. For the Baltic Sea, for example, they will have national organization in Poland, in Estland, in Letland, and then they together, the national platforms, maybe could do a huge project how to change this to a more equal ECT future. Well, I think that's about what we discussed. Thank you.
First of all, I think it's a huge work that we have been doing here today, especially in the groups, because that is a very interesting material that we can bring back to the further work we have to do in Winnet Sweden, together with our partners. And is there anyone who furthermore wants to discuss those questions, or are we finished with this discussion? Because if we are, I would like to go to the final thank you part. Is that okay?
Okay.
And first of all, I would like to thank all the participants, all of you that have been here today and joined this conference, because without you, there is no power. And without ourselves, there is no empowerment. So thank you all for coming here. And second of all, I would like to thank the funders, of course, And I would also like to thank our host for this day, Sida, who has disappeared in this huge building. But a big thank you to Sida for their hospitality today. And Winnet Sweden, as Lars earlier said, would like to be a good example, so therefore you can very soon see the documentation on video on Winnet Sweden's website. So I think that's good, isn't it? We're a good example. And of course the paper documentation, as Lars already mentioned. And we will also put together the material from the group dialogues, so that you can have that too visible on our website.
Yeah, it's always like this when you have done a very good work to reflect on what have happened, and all participants and speech that have hold the speeches, which has been also so important for the result of today's conference. And I can tell you directly that there has been already a result, because Erik Kiesel, who is from the Prime Minister's office, has now gone home to find out the most convenient and quickest way to include this result in an upcoming future flagship project in the Baltic Sea region area, with focus on gender and ICT. Of course, we need to go on, and also, of course, a lot of practical work will, of course, come up with that. But anyway, there is a success, and also a thank you to Danuta Hübner for this support. So, as you have said earlier, the concrete thing is the most important when you work with issues, even if you have the policy, but something needs also to happen. And thank you for that support. So this is for you to know a concrete result, and we will come back with further information on that. And it couldn't have happened without you, you know that. And the Winnet Sweden network. So that's for all, and I think we are a little bit earlier than expected, but this is also a very effective group that have been working. So have a nice trip and safe trip home.